This made my jaw drop. It's a bit of polling from you guys, Patrick English, that he outlined to me on a panel yesterday. And it's about the two-child benefit cap. Right. Next week, Rachel Reeves is probably going to spend about £3 billion scrapping it. So YouGov asked some questions. The first thing they asked for the public as a whole is, should you keep the cap or not? And keeping the cap is popular. Scrapping the cap is not. So asked if you think the two-child limit should be kept, 59% say it should, and barely half of that, 27%, say it shouldn't. But here's the thing, Anne, and this is the bit that really made my eyebrows raise. YouGov tried an experiment. Rather than asking the question in boring pollster language, they asked it in a much more emotive way. They said, do you think you should get rid of this cap, which means families do not receive any support to help feed and clothe and raise additional children, forcing many to go without? So what do you think, Anne, happened when we put the kind of the sort of sob story case for keeping the cap? Well, support for keeping the cap went up. Faced with the fears of children going without, more people thought that you should keep the two-child benefit cap in place, 61% as against 59%. Does that tell us something about the character of the British public?
But again, I would just say, what does it tell us? Like, it sounds eye-popping when you read it out. It probably, between the lines, I think it's saying people are saying, decide how many children you want to have and look after them well. So they may not be reacting in an entirely Dickensian way. Maybe, and this is what's so interesting about polling, is that what are people really hearing and reacting to? And is it maybe something a little bit different to what the pollster or what the journalists like us are interpreting? Or did they then think about the question and say, yeah, that's precisely why this is why the cap was brought in, right? Why you should think more carefully. Now, the trouble is, does it really work that way in practice? And that you clearly have children who are entirely blameless, who are affected. But I think it's really interesting that you draw attention to how tweaking a question can tweak an answer, but not always as we expect.
What I think it also tells us is that Labour are spending a lot of money next week on plans that they hope will go down well with the Parliamentary Labour Party. Most of what I think this budget is going to end up with polls pretty strongly. This is not something that does, but they still feel they need to do because it's in line with Labour values.